Hey guys, welcome to Wisecracking Blonde. My inaugural podcaster versus podcaster tournament is starting today. Yep, from Magic on Main Pod, we have Sean and Tabitha and Tabitha's dog and cat, which I'm super excited about. They're actually really the reason that I wanted to do this. There we go. We recorded an episode of or I guess we weren't recording anything, but we played Dungeons and Dragons with Sean and Tabitha a couple weeks ago, and I just went, "Is your dog snoring?" And it was so it was so loud and cute. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this." So hopefully we get to hear that again. If we get super cozy.
It's the background noise to our lives.
It's a little white noise in the background. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So tell me a little bit about your podcast, because I know that you are building up your podcast after a little bit of a hiatus. So tell me what you guys talk about and where people can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we took a little bit of time off. We weren't going to Disneyland as much. It's a Disneyland themed podcast, and just life hit us, and so we took maybe about almost a year off. But we're back in full force. We talk all about Disneyland Park, so Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, merchandise, news. We have a segment with our kid who does a hidden Mickey every week. We talk a lot about food because we eat a lot of food. So a lot of our segments revolve around what's coming up at the parks with different eateries and different food items and things like that. And you can find us on Instagram at Magic on Main Street Official or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we also just launched a YouTube channel. We're doing video now. So
Oh,
you can
cool.
find us in
Okay.
any of those places.
Perfect. Yeah, your guys' videos are actually really entertaining. I like you'll do like family at Disneyland and then in different scenarios how you react to stuff, because it's
Yeah.
always like, yep, that's exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The things you hear at Disneyland is just, there could be a whole podcast about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because Phil and I have these running jokes. He and I were walking down the street in Oceanside down the pier, and we pass a couple who walks by, and the only thing we heard was her say, "And then I finished my sandwich." And we, for days, were like, I wonder what the first part of that story was. Like, I would love to know the context that she felt it necessary to say she finished her sandwich. But yeah, I love overhearing things where you're like, oh, okay, you're out in public and we're still making these choices. But all right, that's
Yeah,
great.
and what better place to do that than Disneyland, where you get walks of all life,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get also you get the Disney adults like us. Which, by the way, we're Disney adults, but we also understand how weird Disney adults are. So we're like
Yeah,
we're,
same.
we're cuspers, definitely.
Uh-huh.
But you also get like the range of like so happy to be here versus I paid so much fucking money for this trip.
Yep.
So it's like it's
Yep.
it's good people watching for sure.
And I've been both in that
Oh, for
spectrum. 'Cause
sure,
it's like, yeah,
absolutely.
like once you I love going to Disney as an adult. I think that anybody who hates on it hasn't done it, because
Right.
Mm-hmm.
if you've tried it, just like you and your spouse or you and your friend, it's such a fun time. It's chill. You do what you want or you don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. But it's still fun energy everywhere you
Yeah.
go. And
Mm-hmm.
then hey, let's take all the kids, and like they're definitely gonna have fun, and then it sucks the life out of you, and then you're like $3,000 poorer, and you're like, well, we'll wait next time until they're a little bit older. My kid is a
Mm-hmm.
theme park kid through and through. He loves it. He lives for it. He wants to go to everything. And my husband's kids are very much not. And so there's definitely an energy when they all come together that we're like, okay, so maybe theme parks aren't for the whole family
Right.
to
Right.
enjoy, because it's just not everybody likes roller coasters. Not everybody likes waiting in line, but
True. That's a good
I
point.
think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, for our inaugural podcaster competitors episode, we are going to be going through 10 questions today. They are going to span, I would say, the 60s through current, and it's going to cover TV and film, pop culture, slang and slogans, anything you can think of. And so it's just sort of a hodgepodge of information. So for anybody who hasn't joined us before, I am going to read our question. Once I read the question, I push our little goat guy, our Vincent Van Goat. Once the goat is completely done, our contestants are going to use their name as their buzzer. So Sean will say Sean, Tabitha will say Tabitha, or some variety, because Tabitha's pretty long. And then the first one to chime in is going to get the opportunity to answer. If they don't get it, then the other person gets to answer. So I will not keep score. We'll see how that ends up going. I have a
It's
score for
always
you,
a
but I'm
yeah, it's
terrible.
always a toss up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we have 10 questions and we only have 8 points written down. And I'm like, well, I missed something somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. So to kick us off, question 1. Who starred in the 1984 comedy Police Academy, where a group of eccentrics are trying to join a local fight against crime? So who is the main star of Police Academy? I know it was an ensemble cast, but he was
Oh,
like
wow.
the main star.
I
I'm
have
gonna give
his
you a hint.
face.
Yep. He was also in 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh,
It was also the name of the original Bible that was printed. I'm going to give you as many clues like
original Bible.
yeah. Yep. It was like the first Bible that was printed. It was called
Asking an atheist about the Bible?
I know. I was like,
no. I was going to say Steve. It's not the Book of Steve.
Steve Gutenberg, you're right.
Oh, Gutenberg. Duh. I was like, it's not Steve.
Yeah, no, it definitely
Book
is.
of
Who did you
Steve?
guess? I thought you said Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg, but I didn't
That's what I
think
thought.
Gutenberg. I thought Steve. It's not, the Bible wasn't
Oh,
by
it's
Steve.
not the Steve Bible. Could you imagine? We just printed it. They're so majestic about it, and then they're like, we call it Steve.
Yeah, it's like Monty Python's The Life of Brian. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Book of
So
Steve.
majestic. All right. Let's see. Question 2. What movie includes the song Everything is Awesome?
Sean.
Tabs.
Shot.
It is the Lego movie.
It is the Lego movie. You are correct.
Tabitha, it doesn't matter if you
3.
say Tabitha or Tabs because you're not going to get in, so it doesn't matter.
Well, who's closer to the Wi-Fi? Like, I'm
Listen.
really curious.
Sean, he's literally sitting on it.
Yeah,
That explains
Tabitha
it.
is stuck in our teenage daughter's bedroom, which if you can't tell by the background, that's our teenage daughter's background.
Perfect. That explains it. All right. Question 3. What rapper's real name was Christopher Brian Bridges?
Sean.
Oh,
Ludacris.
that is. How did you know that? I had no idea.
I love Ludacris. I know every single Ludacris like rap like as a featuring Ludacris. I know every single one of them.
Man, what a diehard! Yeah, I always find that so interesting. I saw an article the other day that was like actors' real names, and like Vin Diesel just has like the most basic name. I don't even remember what it was. It was so basic. It was just like Mark something or other.
It is.
Yeah.
Every Mark listening right now is like, hey.
I know. Sorry, basic bitches.
Yeah, I just
That's
looked.
so
Vin
funny.
Diesel's name is Mark Sinclair.
That's right. See, he's
What
such
a
a basic
nerd.
bitch. Yeah. He did pick a good name though. Like
That is a good name.
Vin Diesel is pretty badass.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Family.
Okay. Question 4. Popularized by MC Hammer and sometimes called Hammer Pants, what was another name for this 80s hip hop trend?
Sean.
Hold on.
Oh, shoot. I forfeit.
Tabs. Parachute pants.
That's right. And they're making a comeback, which is so sad.
It is so sad.
So sad to see. Yeah.
I just saw a video of a girl on TikTok wearing something similar on a cruise ship, and she was walking outside as the cruise ship was going, and they were just like billowing in the wind. She looked like the Jet Puff Marshmallow Man.
Love it. Yeah, I saw something the other day on TikTok talking about how MC Hammer had a reputation for being like not real rap or not real hip hop. But apparently he was like very, and who knows if it's real or not, because on TikTok, very integrated into the gang communities. And so when people would make fun of him and he found out about it, he would like make some things happen to scare them or to intimidate them or to hurt them. And I was like, oh, really?
No way.
Did not hear that at all. Yeah, it was very
I would
enlightening.
never
like,
assume that.
Yeah, apparently the hammer came from like the way that he attacked people with violence. That's where he got that nickname. Like it was like a gang nickname. And again, I
Like
don't know
That's
if it's real.
terrifying.
I know. I was
like
like,
he
oh
walked
man.
around with hammers. He's just like hammering. Like,
Or he
better
was
watch out
just
of the.
used as like muscle. And so it
Hammer
was like
don't do it.
I know that song was a warning. He was like, don't do it. I'm telling you right now. Don't. All right, question 5. These questions are a little bit wordy, so this one, just bear with me. This Nebraska native was known as the greatest popular music dancer of all time. In movies, he was paired with everyone from Ginger Rogers to Aubrey Hepburn. He was like a
Tabs.
very famous
Sean.
dancer.
Oh,
Tabs, go ahead.
Fred Astaire?
dang
It
it.
is Fred Astaire, yeah.
Yay.
Nice work,
I
pal.
know. She's dominating. What can I say? Okay, we're on.
He thinks he's
question
really good
3.
at things, but
I know.
I'm the
but
best
they
trivia
all-
person you know.
That's not true. She knows me.
got him.
That's right. Ayo. Okay, question 6. Robin Williams became the cross-dressing nanny so he could spend more time with his kids. Name the movie.
Sean.
Tabs.
Sean. That was close. Sean.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
It is Mrs.
You have a Janaya Doubtfire.
One of my favorites.
It's so good.
I just feel like we don't make movies like that anymore.
No.
You know?
Somebody posted a clip of that scene where he's like finally giving his testimony about like, I love my kids and I can't live without them. And I just like, my whole face melted.
Yeah. We just don't make movies like this
No,
anymore.
those were the days, man. The 90s, early 2000s, those were the days for movies. Now everything's just a remake.
That's what I tell Christian. So Christian's 20 and he's very into like pop culture and stuff. And I'm like, man, the 2000s, I say the late 90s, 2000s were just like hitting. Everything was super cinematic. Everything was slapping. Every actor was like topped. Like it was like Daniel Day-Lewis and right. Like it just was a lot more quality. And then the other day I watched Hitman on Netflix just out of like, hey, there's content to watch. And it was excruciating to get through. And I was like, how are people paying for these? I don't understand.
I know.
Question 7. Disaster struck New Orleans when the levees broke during this hurricane.
Sean.
Tabs.
Sean. Oh, man, that was so close. Sean.
Katrina.
It was Katrina. That's so weird because that feels like it was 100 years ago and also like it was 5 years ago.
Wait, what year was it?
It didn't say, but I want to say it was like 2015. In my brain, it was somewhere in the mid.
Katrina, I think, was like 2006, wasn't it?
Was it? Which now is
I
like
don't know, but it seems like it was yesterday.
ago.
But also ages ago. Yes.
Yeah.
The only reason I can like kind of place it in the timeline is because Dee Dee Blanchard was still alive when Hurricane Katrina hit because Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee Blanchard's house was destroyed. So I'm like, I know it was before all that.
2005.
I was close.
So it was almost
it doesn't
20
seem
years
like
ago.
it was that. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
That's when people talk about time passing, like for us specifically, how they're like, oh, 10 years ago, you mean the 90s? Like that's
right.
My brain stopped updating at some point. It was like, no, we have stored all the memories we can store and there's nothing new. So everything just feels like it was in the last 10 years, regardless of how long ago it has actually been.
Somebody had posted a like a comparison meme the other day and said that if Back to the Future were to happen now, it would happen in 1993.
Yeah, which is so
and that makes me want to
depressing.
vomit.
Yeah. Well, and they're talking about remaking it too, which I'm like, can we just not? Can we just like
They
come up with
better
new
not.
ideas? I'm so tired. They keep pushing Tom Holland as Marty McFly. I'm like, we're all set. Just leave it alone. Like you don't have to remake everything.
It's
There's
not
a lot of good ideas.
necessary.
Make a new thing. Yeah.
Well, and
Right.
especially with like Michael J. Fox and the state that he's in, like it would be so sad to take away from his legacy as
I
much
agree.
as he poured into that generation of movies. I mean, he was doing literally like 20 hours a day filming that and Teen Wolf at the same time. A lot of people don't realize that, but he was killing himself to make these movies.
Yeah. Did you watch his documentary?
Not yet. I need to, but I'm afraid to.
Oh, it wasn't bad. He's such a little badass that like
Yeah.
you don't feel sorry for him. You're like, oh, this is his life. Like it's
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But they definitely talk about his shooting schedule and how he was just like killing himself to do Family Ties and everything else at the same
Yeah.
time. And nowadays, I don't even think they would get away with that. Like, there's no like between SAG and all the regulations and everything. Like, there's no
Right.
world in which you could just go from one set to the other and then just get picked up and dropped off. But
Right.
back then, it was like the Wild West. They could do whatever they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question 8. What band's self-titled album in 1976 became the fastest-selling debut album with the hit "More Than a Feeling"?
Sean.
Tabs.
Sean. Oh man, so close.
Boston.
It is Boston. Tabitha, just start ringing in while the goat's going.
I'm going to.
I'm going to give you that.
But Tabitha, you have to admit, if anybody's going to know the answer to that one, who's it going to be?
Me.
Me. That's my song.
I don't care.
Karaoke, rock band, in the car. That is my song.
I know it too. You don't have a monopoly on Boston.
I've known it longer, and I'm a lot older than you.
Only because you're old.
I am. It's true.
There you go.
Gosh.
All right, question 9. Ooh, we're almost done. Uh-oh. Question 9. If someone says, "Don't at me," what do they mean?
Tabs.
Tap.
Like, don't come for me. Like, don't, like. I know what it means, but like, how do you explain that?
Actually, I'm gonna take that. Yeah, it just means like I don't care what you have to say.
Yeah.
I didn't ring in because I had no idea how to explain it. I know what it means, but I have no idea what to. Don't mention me, bro.
Yeah. Don't come back. You're already blocked. Spotify named this rapper the most streamed artist of the 2010s decade with over 28 billion streams.
Sean.
He's in a rap beef right now. Sean.
Drake.
It is Drake.
Unfortunately, I'm not happy to say that. I would much rather say Eminem, but it's not.
Well, he's making a comeback.
He is. That last song he just made is pretty dope.
I don't know what a rap beef is necessarily, and it has been over-explained with the whole him and Kendrick Lamar thing. And I was like, oh, this is how you know you're just out of touch, because I couldn't have given two shits. Like, this whole back and forth, and he's making a song, and he's making a song. Everybody's riled up about it, and I was like, I don't even care anymore.
I had to ask Kenzie and Tabitha, like, what is going on? What does this mean? But then I heard They Not Like Us, and I was like, I get it, and I don't like Drake, and I understand why nobody else does either. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now that song is the soundtrack of our summer.
Yes.
There are definite moments where I'm like, I'm getting old. And it's stuff like that where I'm like, this is the shit we're worried about right now. Like, of all the things that we got going. Oh, yeah. Come on, kitty. The cat was like, hey, girl.
He's like, did I win?
All right. I have one bonus question. This is from our boomer questions. So this is going to go in the way back. The original Mickey Mouse Club show made a star of this actress, very known for the Mickey Mouse Club, who continued her movie career with The Shaggy Dog and Babes in Toyland.
Sean.
Tab.
Sean.
Annette Funicello.
It is.
I knew that one.
No, you didn't. You were going to fake it.
Yes, I did.
You were going to say Britney Spears.
No, I was not.
Those were the best days of the Mickey Mouse Club. Let me just tell you, between Britney Spears and Ryan Gosling and Justin Timberlake and whoever else they had on there, I was like living the dream. 13-year-old me was so excited to like fall in love with all those. Christina Aguilera was on there too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was such a good cast. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I didn't even hear any dog snores or anything, and this was pretty quick and painless. So for our bracket, it looks like you guys are going to be moving in different directions. So Sean is going to be moving to one bracket. Tabitha's going to be moving to another bracket. Either way, the dog and the cat are invited. And I hope to see them again. But you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have not yet subscribed to the show, please feel free to subscribe to Wisecracking Blonde wherever you can find it. Also, if you haven't rated or reviewed, it's tremendously helpful for the show to get it out, get it in front of more people. If you can share it on your social media when I share it, I'm also tremendously grateful for that. If you can get it in front of as many people as possible, it really helps to get the word out with these little podcasts to get it in front of as many people as we can. And while you're at it, check out the Magic on Main official podcast. Instagram is hilarious. They're starting up their new YouTube channel. Whether Disney is your thing or not, it's still very entertaining to watch. They all have a great time. Amazing family dynamic. So check it out either way. But Tabitha, Sean, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We love
Thank
being on the show. Thank
you.
you.